Hello, ladies and gentlemen, crypto deep divers. Welcome back to Weekly Crypto. Today, I'm going to talk about the Neo DevCon in Seattle. So, in case you cannot go to the conference, you can still hear the Dai Hongfei speech in this live stream. So, you can go back to watch the founder Dai Hongfei speech here. So, I would just want to give you some highlights for the DevCon. And nothing has been changed because the NEO mission since last year, the first development conference in San Francisco, they still want to, of course, to make NEO the #1 blockchain by 2020. And also, they want to provide the best performance, diversified ecosystem, and compliance solution as well for the ecosystem. And another thing, I think he point out, the founder Dai Hongfei point out that what makes NEO different is, and because a lot of projects they have so idealistic or idealism and whatnot, and NEO is somewhere between pragmatic and as well as idealism as well. So this is what makes NEO different. This is where the magic happens. This is pretty interesting. He points that out. And another thing, so nothing new. I mean, this is the future economy, the smart economy. So you want to be interoperable and also digitable, programmable, decentralized, and you don't have to trust a third party. And of course, it's transparency, and also you have a bigger market, smaller government, and so this is a new form of institution. Basically, it's a smart economy. And also, NEO 3.0, probably a lot of people heard about that. And the new features for the NEO FS, the file storage system, and basically, they want to store more big data. And in terms of the price of gas, will be lower price, and you can also spend gas to get storage space and earn gas with unused hard disk space. So this is pretty cool. So you can earn gas if you don't use any hard disk space and all that. And also in terms of data privacy, of course, you have to encrypt the data to protect the privacy. And also they integrate a smart contract to write data directly to the NEO FS in the contract as well. This is the new features for the NEO FS. And another thing for the NEO, let's see, for the NEO 3.0, is other improvement, add compression options for the peer-to-peer message, and also they will utilize this Merkle Patricia tree for the store value verification, also to reduce the cost of the smart contract execution. This is important because if the cost of the smart contract is expensive, this user will have to pay high fees on that, and who is going to use the system, right? You got to have low cost in terms of the smart contract. Another thing, the goal for the NEO 3.0 is, of course, they plan on large-scale commercialized application, which is on the enterprise level. And of course, you have to have reliability, and you have to have a reliable ecosystem, the blockchain technology, stuff like that. And TPS, of course, is a transaction per second. I think they are trying to do prioritize certain message in order to increase the transaction speed. And also, of course, with storage as well, the file storage we talked about earlier. And let's see. And another 3.0, I think, did I finish all the 3.0? Okay, there's one more 3.0. So another, okay, so this is basically, I talked about that earlier already, the architecture. This is the 3.0, the layering, and the consensus model, the on-chain governance incentives, internet resource access and all that, and NEO. And also they have a NEO FS, we talked about that earlier, and NEO ID candidate from Swisscom blockchain. So Swisscom is basically a subsidiary of Swiss Telecom. So they basically partner with Swisscom blockchain, partner with NEO. So this is pretty cool with the real world application. I will probably talk about the Neo ID in the next video because it's too much to talk about in just one single video. And another interesting thing is about the architecture. And in terms of course, in the real world architecture, you have different Gothic, Renaissance, different modernistic, and also futurism. And currently, we are at this stage right now in terms of the IT architecture. And you have microservices, agile development process, in-memory database streaming, containers. And in the future, for 2020 plus, you have in terms of architecture style, it will be reactive, event-driven. The development process will be lean, and also for the data persistence, will basically blockchain. And execution platform will be serverless. This is the future architecture. So you can see they have a history for Gothic style on the 90s, and then you have mainframe, the IBM mainframe used to be a big, gigantic mainframe, right? And Renaissance, you have 2000, and you have a physical host, and then 2010, you have virtual machines. Right now, we have containers. Future, you have serverless on the blockchain. And this is pretty interesting to see, compare the architecture to the IT architecture. This is pretty cool. And let's see. And they also talk about the blockchain for the transformation. So in the digital era, I think this speaker is also from Microsoft. There's actually a lot of Microsoft executive going to this blockchain conference as a speaker. It looks like they have a partnership with Microsoft per se, I guess, or maybe collaboration and stuff like that. And this is in the digital era, the fast fish eat the slow fish. This is pretty interesting. And it's time to create your next digital business transformation. And in the digital transformation, basically new ways to create value with a digital business. Business is a platform. The value is created by the ecosystem, just like the Neo ecosystem, different blockchain, like for example, they have different ecosystem, Cardano or EOS, they have their own ecosystem. And this is like a value creation. So this is an interesting concept as well. And so this guy is basically managing director, Microsoft Digital Advisory Services. So the topic is blockchain for digital transformation. And another thing I want to point out, this is the NGD Seattle management. They set up the NGD in Seattle, and he is the guy who is leading the project, leading this group. And he is a former Microsoft executive as well, is former general manager of Microsoft Digital and Microsoft.net. So, so there's a lot of people from former, from work, who used to work for Microsoft. One thing I forgot to talk about for the governance, they're going to have a more transparency in terms of decision making for the governance, and also they're going to decentralize the consensus node. So that's important because you want to decentralize for the blockchain technology. You don't want to have a central point of failure. And in terms of funding, they have for the Neo Foundation, in the fiat currency, they have 2 million, and Bitcoin and Ethereum, they have 7 million, and Neo and Gas, they have around 32 million. So the project is they have at least they have some well funded. Some of the project because of the right now we are in a bear market. A lot of projects may fail because they ran out of money and stuff like that. And at least they are well funded at this time. And let's see. So, and also there's another interesting concept for RMIT, MIT, but this university, this is basically from Australia, this RMIT Innovation Lab. And why economists are excited about this blockchain thing? You can see in the economies, you have centralized model, and the ledger, you have centralized model, which is socialist. And if the economy is decentralized and the ledger is centralized, it's capitalism. And in terms of centralized for the economies, and also the ledger is a decentralized as pre-Marxist communism. And if the economy is decentralized and the ledger is also decentralized, you have the crypto economy. So this is basically the future of the economy is the crypto economy. And I think they also talk about why the ledger it matters, and he give an example about the ledgers are everywhere. So cryptocurrency have shown us that money is a ledger, and property rights, of course, are the ledger. You have the recording in the system and all that. A firm is a ledger, structural capital, labor and processes. Social security system is a ledger. Citizenship is a ledger as well. This is pretty interesting. They have the ledger concept. And also instead of institution, you have market, the firms, the government, cups and commons. After 2009, you have blockchain as well. Why 2009? Remember, after the 2008 financial crisis, and you have the first white paper from the Satoshi Nakamoto with the Bitcoin and blockchain. So that's why you have another system called blockchain, yeah, after 2009. And I think I cover pretty much the highlights, highlights of the Neo DevCon for day one. And I think be open-minded and see what's going on and out there, And I think, yeah, that's pretty much the highlight. And I think I missed one or few highlight, but I think this is the scope from this. So if you find this video helpful, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, also share with your friends, and also make sure you comment what do you think about the Neo Dev coin in Seattle. So that will be interesting to hear from you. And you can also follow me on Twitter as well. I try to tweet some highlight in the meetings and stuff like that, but sometimes it's difficult, And make sure you comment and share, like as well if you find it helpful. That will help my ranking in YouTube, and I will continue to provide quality video for you guys. And remember, crypto deep divers, we the people take control of our money. So stay wise, stay safe, peace. I'm not a financial advisor. Investing in cryptocurrency or ICO has inherent risk. Please use a due diligence.